Bit of a shaky start for markets today as peace talks between Iran and the US come to something of a stall. And we've also got the US moving to blockade the Strait of Hormuz. Let's break down exactly what's happening right now. As you can see, Bitcoin currently trading at a price of $71,926 after falling around 3% on Sunday, 3.38% to be exact. We have bounced this morning, something like 2.5%, 3%. There you go, 1.93% exactly to prices right now. And most of that is actually coming within the last couple of hours. There you go, you can see that if we shift to the hourly chart here. Now, I remain in my leverage long position, right? You can see we're currently up $315 in that trade. But I did mention in yesterday's video, and you can see my horrible squiggly drawings on the chart here, that I thought we were potentially due a little bit of a pullback as people got potentially overexcited about ceasefire news, which wasn't yet substantiated. We saw a lot of people jumping in on leverage, and we saw the fear and greed index spike up as high as 50, which is a neutral fear and greed score, which to me is pretty crazy without an end to the war in the Middle East, right? That seems excessively high to be sentiment-wise for as yet unsubstantiated resolutions to that conflict. And that is what we have started to see, right? We did see the pullback over the weekend. Markets opening not too bad today, okay? And I'm talking about the US stock market. You can see we are up on the day about 1.31%. I should make it clear that we've got stalls of peace talks between Iran and the US, but we don't necessarily have an end to the ceasefire or anything like that just yet. So the market is absorbing this not too terribly at this point, but just to say we did see that coming going into the weekend, that we might see a bit of a slump. Some of that being recovered right now. But the point is, the slump comes as we see this slowdown in peace talks, right? 21 hours of back and forth leave the US and Iran far apart. J.D. Vance remained tight-lipped as he returned from Islamabad on Sunday without a major breakthrough in high-stakes talks to end the war in Iran. It was unclear how much, if any, progress was made in the highest level diplomatic negotiations between the US and Iran in decades. And there's a couple of key sticking points here. So we've got what to do with Iran's enriched uranium and key issues like opening the Strait of Hormuz, obviously, which we'll get onto in just a sec, and Iran's funding of proxy groups like Hezbollah and Hamas. So it doesn't look like this is completely shut down. As I've said, the ceasefire is ongoing and talks are apparently still moving. There was an update here from the president of Pakistan who said the ceasefire is still holding and, as I speak, full efforts are underway to resolve the outstanding issues. But we haven't seen resolution on that just yet. And we've also seen Trump moving to blockade the Strait of Hormuz. On Sunday, the president posted to social media, the United States Navy, the finest in the world, will begin the process of blockading any and all ships trying to enter or leave the Strait of Hormuz. Accusing Iran of world extortion, Trump threatened that any person who attacked the US vessels would be blown to hell. Trump's sweeping threat to blockade any and all ships was later contradicted by his own military, which announced a more targeted blockade. Once again, you see the reaction of the market to uncertainty like this. Obviously, the goal here is to block Iranian ships, Iranian ports, and not friendly vessels. But nonetheless, this is clearly, in a sense, escalation, right? It's the US using naval force to enact this blockade. Although the ceasefire is ongoing, this is clearly a move to physical escalation. The situation is still hot. That's the point that I'm trying to get to here. Although we've got peace talks stalling, not shutting down completely, the ceasefire is ongoing. We do have US ships, as of right now, blockading the Strait of Hormuz, which honestly leads me to the same conclusion that I was at on Friday. This 44, effectively neutral fear and greed index is overhyped. I think too much of the market is long right now. You can see this measured in the daily time horizon and in the 30-day time horizon as well, right? Effectively, this disparity of leverage long positions in the market and long liquidation risk versus leverage shorts in the market and short liquidation risk. On the daily time horizon, you can see $1.9 billion worth of long liquidation risk across exchanges versus just shy of $900 million worth of cumulative short side liquidation risk. And the market's paid the price for that over Sunday, basically, right? Okay, let's all get long and excited because there's a ceasefire, which, by the way, I think is a good thing overall, right? And it's clearly a bullish thing. But it's not really bullish no, it's not more bullish than before we even had a war in the Middle East in the first place, okay, first of all. And for me, it's not reason to jump in leverage long at, okay, prices of, we'll just take an average, say 70,000, and then hope for the moon. And quite clearly, what happens when people get too leveraged too soon, and we start seeing what we always see, unfortunately, which is, okay, yes, there's a ceasefire, but peace talks haven't found a resolution after 21 hours in Pakistan. Oh, okay. Now Trump's blockading the Strait of Hormuz with US vessels. Yeah, a little bit too soon to be getting massively leveraged long, in my opinion. Hence why I'm in this trade from 65k, okay, when everyone was, the opposite sentiment existed. Everyone was really upset and throwing the baby out with the bathwater, and it felt like we were about to sink like a rock. Oversold. That's why I got in long. That's why good pricing on your positioning is one of the best risk management tools, because being long from 65k, it means I've got the luxury of being able to ride out these day-to-day fluctuations and focus on a slightly longer term trend. And we've taken profit off the table, and it's a small position, and it's a small amount of my overall portfolio in this account overall. So that's where I'm at on that. Okay, currently up $300 on this trade, not looking to jump out of it anytime soon, but obviously the situation isn't looking as rosy as it was on Friday. We've also got upcoming peace talks regarding Israel and Lebanon, but Israel, ahead of those, stepping up strikes on Lebanon and Hezbollah attacks continue as talks loom. Talks is due for Tuesday, but as the article reads, Israeli airstrikes and Hezbollah rocket attacks intensified over the weekend in southern Lebanon and northern Israel as both sides signaled the war would continue despite diplomatic efforts. As I said, talks scheduled for Tuesday to try and achieve some sort of resolution or ceasefire on this. But bear in mind, that is also a key element of the ceasefire in Iran from the Iranian side. You've got the US saying that Lebanon didn't have anything to do with the ceasefire in Iran, and you've got Iran saying the exact opposite. So this sort of adds to this whole cocktail that we've got, basically making this whole situation still incredibly volatile. But you want some good news on this. Strategy signals another Bitcoin buy as company needs just 2% annual BTC growth to cover dividends. MicroStrategy bought nearly 3 times more Bitcoin than miners produced in March and is signaling it isn't done, even as its holdings remain billions of dollars underwater. And once again, that brings me back to the sort of meta strategy here, which is, okay, yeah, I'm currently leveraged long 20x and $300 up in unrealized profits, about $500 up in realized profits on this trade, but that's not the main event. The main event is accumulating Bitcoin while the markets are down and potentially accumulating altcoins too. But as always, not my recommendation, just purely my opinion shared just for entertainment purposes. If you enjoy these videos, do go ahead and subscribe to the channel. I post these almost every day. My insights, my trades, my opinions. Appreciate you giving this a watch. And there is, of course, plenty more to come. Thank you so much.